Hey, you guys, it's your girl Latanya Vibes, and welcome to the House of Vibes. Welcome to the House of Vibes. Guys, that's my death drop. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear me well. I'm trying to stop being so mobile with the mic, but if you're tuned in, thank you first. Secondly, I know the background looks a little different. Your girl just did a little thing. We're gonna talk about that later, though. We're gonna talk about that later. But today, as you could tell by the episode title, she thought she did. Hold on, I said that wrong. I said that shit with so much conviction in my heart. She thought she could, so she did. A testimony. Yes. And I'm going to do a little disclaimer first. Okay? So, if you are looking for me to be holier than thou, right? Watch my mouth or not do anything of the sinneth world, this video is not for you, okay? If you are someone who is still caught up in the trends of life and hearing anything that is a little too real, a little too authentic, and it doesn't fit into your algorithm, this video is not for you. If you came to see what Latanya is doing because you were one of my monitoring spirits, this video is for you. Yeah. Okay. And if you are a soul out here just on your mission, on your purpose, and you do not feel seen by the people closest to you, right? If you do not feel like the people that should know you really don't even know you at all, or the people that are closest to you don't even know what you're doing in your personal life. It's like everyone has an idea or perspective of what they think that you are doing and how the fuck they think your life is going. And they have no fucking idea. This video's for you. So if this is your first time here, welcome. This is not an official episode. I'm going to keep saying it until it's actually an official episode. But I kind of just wanted to share my testimony because, babe, the way the week just it's given I was a chosen one, and I am blessed and highly favored, and I am literally overwhelmed with joy if the fact that I was even called, or like the fact that I heard the call and I took it. Because a lot of times, like, we be hearing stuff like from the divine. And also, this is another disclaimer: if you're somebody who gets upset because I reference God for one, and it bothers you, you might need to sit here in the spirit. I'm not gonna say this is not for you. This is for you. If you're bothered by somebody saying God, the Most High, Jesus Christ, any of those things, right? This ain't for you. So let's get into it. Get your libations. Get your things. Get your let's do a little quick affirmation. A little breath work. A little breath work. We're about to get into it, okay? And well, uh it looks like he removed mine. If he did that on camera, I'm going to. It's going to be like, okay, I heard you, but still, if I okay, it's still a testament. We gonna get into that later because I feel like I want to like document that journey, my relationship with me building like growing closer to God, me having an actual relationship outside of a sanctuary or community of people, me meeting God or God meeting me because technically He be after me and I be doing this. She a runner, she a track star. She will run away when it gets hot. Okay, yeah, real tight shit. So as I grow closer to him, I am walking my own journey with what I should let go of and what is actually beneficial to me. And cannabis is one because y'all know, based on my past videos, I am a firm supporter in cannabis being a mental health tool if it is used with intention. Okay. So I do got my little intentional libations, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. Bow your head. Actually, no, hold on. See, that's how you know you shouldn't be doing this shit. Because why? You're like, hey, can't be double minded. All right, let's do the breath work. Close your eyes. Let's go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale everybody else's fucking projections that have nothing to do with your own. Inhale. Inhale all the greatness that's coming to you, all the wonderful things that are manifesting, that you are manifesting right now. Let's literally breathe in the grace, the favor that God has on us. And let's let go of yesterday. And the day before that, and the day before that. All right, so we have done our breath work. Let's get into the testimony. I know that's what you came here for. You're like, what? Tanya's going to talk about some shit that's going on in her personal life? We got to get tea. We got to get tea. And Mother's here to give it to you. Mother's here to give it to you. All right. So the kind of like primary theme of this kind of like sit down is my testimony. I thought I could, so I did. Cause the way I'm about to tell y'all this, y'all gonna be like, what? But this is just my life. Like I kind of just wanted to share this part because this is what my life be looking like outside of social media. Cause I haven't started twitching to where people can see this shit live stream yet, but like, yeah, we're getting to it. So a few years back, 2022, I was in Cocoa, Florida at the kids' grandma's house over the summer. Me and my kids were looking for a place. So technically we were homeless, but we were not unhoused because we were staying at the grandma's house. And I was just going through hell because I think at that time I had, yeah, okay, just, you know how things come finally back to you? It's like you suppress them so much. And then when you finally have one thought, it kind of opens up a whole bunch. This was technically like my second time going through homelessness, and it was after I had just like opened up my store. I had gave up my home so that I could fund the store, and Latanya was not a good steward of her blessings. But also, God allowed me to go through what I went through so that I could get to what where we at right now. And a lot of times failure is so fucking necessary. And honestly, I needed that failure because I'm glad I failed in 2022 and had that like die moment. Because now when stuff like that happens or similar scenarios pop up, it don't hit me the same way. I be like, damn, last time you was really outside Drew Hill crying, shirt open. Tit is that. And look at you now. You're literally unbothered. You're cooking fucking dinner. 5-star cuisine. Because why not? Even if all this is going on, you still deserve a good ass meal. That's kind of where we're at now. Instead of in the past, whenever I had like failures, especially with entrepreneurship, it just hit me. And so this is definitely for the girlies that's interested in, or not even just the girlies, the souls that are interested in nonprofit work, or just like you have a big dream that you know can like serve a major purpose in this world, and it could shift the worlds of so many people, the lives of so many people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a nonprofit. It could be a fire ass product that's coming to the motherfucking store near you. But just kind of like getting yourself in that mindset. This is for you. Because Latanya is going to show you how you can like take 2 cents. That story in the Bible where Jesus and the disciples had fed 5,000 people off of like, I think it was 3 loaves of bread, 5 loaves of bread, and some barley or some stuff like that. Reference that story, insert it here, okay? And it was so crazy because at Bible study and at church and through like my just connections with people, I've been getting the story. Like the story has popped up more than one time prior to this occasion. So if no one knows, I have a nonprofit that I started. It's Intentionally Connected Community. I started it in 2022. Our first event that we had was June 20th, 2022. At the time, it was me and a few of my girl bosses. I'm gonna name them because it was only a few, right? I only had a few disciples, didn't have 12. It was Taylor Thompson, Hunter Thompson, the sisters, the honeybees, and it was my girl Marilyn Oliveira, who is still here to fucking day. Okay, it was them three and me. And in the time, I was in a whole nother community. I was in the stoner community, and it just seemed like every time we needed to pull up for like some type of stoner event, everybody was there. But like I noticed that when it's time to serve the purpose of others, people really just didn't vibe with that. Even if I did offer a little pre roll at the end, like it just pre. I know how what I just said is diabolical, literally pre-roll for some volunteer hours, but I'm just saying, like, there was nothing I could get to get the people out to do something for other people at the time. But these women showed the fuck up, like, when I had no idea what I was doing. So, boom, I had got this idea that I wanted to have a transitional, and I'm not gonna tell y'all everything because, the girl is still doing her thing. But at the time, I just kind of wanted to offer transitional resources to the homeless population in Orlando and surrounding areas during this season. So basically, what would happen is during the summer, we would get all the things that you would need for the summer, which is like the water bottles, backpacks, personal hygiene products, things like that. And we would partner with a local nonprofit. At the time, it was Orlando Rescue Mission. Thank you for giving me my first big break. And I love them wholeheartedly. Love them. They had two houses. They had a family housing unit, and then they had a men's housing. And what they would allow me to do is I would shift depending on which season it was. Because closer to like the holidays, we got to go do more like family things. But at the beginning, they let me go to the men's housing. And what we would do for girlies on a motherfucking mission, the girlies, the honeybees would literally take us fucking down in the bakery. Okay. When I'm talking about these people have better than Publix cake, and if y'all know, y'all know how Publix gets in the bakery department, these girls was doing their thing. They was doing their big ones. They had the auntie arms activated in the kitchen. They would make so many treats. They would make at least 150 treats so that everybody can get something. Because that was our goal, is we would make sure that we could feed at least 150 people, whether that would be that many people at the resident house or not, but there would be leftovers and things like that. So what we would do, and what people, all right, God, I heard you. So what we would do is like just gather what we had at home, because I didn't have extra funds to be able to provide. They were just doing this out the kindness of their damn heart and the kindness of their pockets, because they funded those parts. And my girl Marilyn, she would do the backpacks. So she's getting all the supplies, she's getting all the hygienics. And that was her and her husband's investment from their real estate company. So if you're looking for a real estate agent in your area or a contractor, because they be flipping them damn homes, let me know. I'll drop it in the comments. But my girl Marilyn, at the time, she was in the process, right, of doing her real estate thing. But she and her husband already had their business established. They helped us. They donated that from their business, right? So we would literally just come together as individual entrepreneurs wanting to pour back into our community, which made me form intentionally connected community, which means everyone that actually has resources comes together to provide resources for those who might not have them at this time. And so that's kind of how it started. And we would kind of come together, like I said, I would put out for volunteers to come, and you would think Latanya's fucking social media was popping at the time. I was in more than just the stoner space at the time. A lot of those things, right? I was a part of so many communities, but those communities never would do certain things to pour it back unless it was something beneficial for them. And I've had so many stories, and I will share as time goes by, that they abused the fuck out of me and my people pleasing ass ways. That's just what it is. It was my fault for allowing that people pleasing to show up in those spaces, but it did. And it did what it needed to do, because I would not be where I'm at today to be doing what I am if those things did not happen. Right. And so when it was going through it, did not like it one fucking bit. Was ready to set the whole world on fire. Now I look at it and I smile, because for the monitoring spirits, they know the journey. Y'all know the journey. For the monitoring spirits, do you mind dropping my history? Share like a little bit in the comments. Thank you. So boom. That's how it started. And as my heart grew, and like I said, I was going through my second round of homelessness in Florida, I was just kind of like, this has to be bigger. Like, I'm not the only person that's experienced that. If this is my first time in my entire adult life going, or my entire life going through homelessness, was when I crossed those borders and came to Florida. And so I felt like God, because I was already doing nonprofit work through, like, when I was a cheerleader, track, like my high school things. And then also for fun, I was doing volunteer projects in Kentucky back then too, in my college years. So it's like volunteerism and just like helping the community has always been a part of my life. It's always been something I enjoy doing. You don't have to force Latanya to sit there for 5 fucking hours to give out resources and to love on people. Give me that all day. Okay? So boom. Let me get cute so y'all can see me. Mm. I decided I wanted to take intentionally connected and grow it. It needed to be bigger. And I decided if I was going to, as I'm working on getting myself my first home, I want to be able to put other people in their first home. And not only put people in their first home, but secure them in their home. Because even things like when we grew up, I don't know if anybody ever watched Extreme Home Makeover. I would watch that stuff and just get so much joy watching these families get blessed and feeling like now their entire life is going to change, like the trajectory of their life changes. And then to grow up and find out, because the internet has a way of spoiling every fucking thing, growing up and finding out that a lot of the people who had those homes built for them when they barely had anything to begin with, they don't even have the homes, or that home put them in even more debt than they were prior to the people coming in. That's what I was just like, yeah. Or even here, like they have so many organizations, but I just feel like there's a disconnect between the actual people and the clients that need the work or need the help, and then also the actual organizations offering the resources. Because once they get to a certain, like once you scale your nonprofit to a certain level, you're going to be focused more on your partnerships and collaborations, to where sometimes if you are not one of those boots on the ground nonprofits, which means that you're established and moving in the community, you have clients that you constantly are in connection with, that, or you also have people that you've helped and you're watching them, you're still kind of like a part of their journey as they have transitioned, right? I just feel like there's always that disconnect once you get to scale to a certain spot and you get a certain amount of money, to where you kind of lose sight and lose touch or lose connection with the people you are actually wanting to help. So that was kind of where I went. I was like, I want to shift, and I am. Let's not even say I wanted to, because at the time I wanted to, but now it was on my heart to shift how nonprofit organizations are ran. And it was a random book that I found at the little free book section at my favorite park. I was like happened upon walking past the little book thing. They have this cute little thing where you can donate a book and take one. I was walking past it and this book called Toxic Charity came out. And it was not the expose that the internet would love to give you, or TikTok could definitely do like a whole dark hole exposed situation. It was very just surface level, like, hey, even these people who think they're doing good, this is where they're fucking up at. And like there's fault in every like system. So I mean, why not be the person that comes in and shifts the system instead of trying to be the system or get beat the system by getting into the system and then being like confined by it, right? So that's kind of my mindset. Pinky in the brain type energy. How are we going to take over the world? Anyways, so that's kind of how intentionally connected come about. So let's fast forward, and it's 2025. So after Latanya went through her bout of homelessness, God definitely delivered me from a lot of scenarios that I went through. Homeless, sleeping in my car, sleeping in not a car. He literally walked me through not the pampered princess version of homelessness. Because the first time I was homeless, I was a pampered princess homeless. And y'all are gonna be like, what? When you go through shit, you can say certain things. And so what I mean is I was a pampered princess. I had the luxury of sometimes being able to get a hotel room and wash my ass, cook myself a few meals, and relax and kick my feet up under Wi-Fi. There's some people where it's been a year and they haven't set foot in a shelter, they haven't set foot in a home, they haven't set foot in a hotel or anything. They don't have a car, so everything is on their feet. So God gave me the pampered princess flight of it to put the that whole mission on my heart the first time, right? Because when I moved to Florida, I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I was going to be that girl, and period. That's it. Uh, but when I moved here, and then everything I had planned fell through, meaning the house fell through, my job fell through, my taxes got took, like, and this was my first taxes that I had with kids. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It was my first one with taxes, my first taxes with kids. I was supposed to get a nice little refund. So that's what made me feel comfortable to move to Florida. I moved with Kentucky money. I mean, I was getting paid good, living good up there, right? I took that $18.75 plus shift differential at the ER and decided to move it down here. Y'all want to know how much my first job paid me? I went from 1875 to 975 at 24/7 in touch. But this is what I mean. God has a plan for you. Every person that I met when I went to 24/7 in touch is a part of my life or has been a part of a major ass experience in my life since then. Miss Maylin, you know I love you. Aaliyah, you saved me and my damn kids, okay? Star Felicia, that is my sister from another mister and Missy's, okay? But that's my girl, okay? And the babies. There's so many people that like Katie, okay? Let me get down there. Christina, Nina, like there's baby, Damaris. I can name all the people. I encountered them after that. Mind you, I'm a girly that once we normally like if I cross state lines, we don't keep a friendship. I'm probably not going to travel back as much as you need me to, things like that. These are people that God showed me what the real value of friendship was in different ways because not all of them did I have like a deep connection to, right? I just had certain like things or a connection to them that was it served its purpose and it still is serving its purpose in different ways, right? But like it was God ordained. Me going from 1875 to 975 was ordained because even how I went from 975 and I'm like, well, God, how am I supposed to get a place? You let the one that I had could afford fall through, and then you let the money fall through because I was supposed to switch from there to go to like Advent Health, Orlando Health, right? Because I was working in the ER. Shift to a call center 975. But got to get Urban Decay makeup palettes every time they came out. So you hoes couldn't touch me when that little what was it, Game of Thrones came out. Guess who got to try it first? Sorry, y'all. God is still working on me. So no, he's put me there for the purpose of the people, not necessarily for the coin. And so since I've been in Florida, God has shifted me from my focus being on the coin to the purpose. That's just my whole, I guess, the theme behind what I just said, right? He shifted my heart first, shifted my mind first, shifted my focus first, and then I started seeing this shit play out in real life. Fast forward to 2025. Okay. Last year, Latanya got the audacity because God gave me stability. Mm-hmm. Everybody I sought out to help me could not help me. It's either A, they could not help me, or B, they just wanted to see a bitch fall, but it didn't matter because God had my back and I had favor in him, okay? So he does the biggest whoop wop bop, right? Puts me in a motherfucking apartment, puts me in the nice place of my job to where my boss, I had the perfect work life balance. Giving work life balance. It's giving, Latanya gets on the president's list. I didn't even know that shit existed. I only thought there was a dean's list, and I wasn't even really working towards that. I bitch needed a certain grade point average to get in that good standing. Okay, fucked around and got on that president's list. Spring 2025. Okay. Fast forward, school's paid for where God took away that financial aid and everybody's, oh, how y'all look at y'all used to go to school for the money. Well, guess what? God said still going to school, paid for. Okay. Job I went from again. I got to another job where it had the money. This is how the Intentionally Connected really started growing, right? So Intentionally Connected started last year, where I was actually trying to lay the foundation, meaning the actual regulatory foundation, make us an actual established nonprofit here in Florida, right? I was going through that process last year, but first I needed to learn structure because that's what you needed in nonprofits in general. You need some type of structure, especially when you're trying to build a team and have a community. Structure is necessary, process is necessary. So for the first 6 months of the year, God put me in a place where I was working at prior, gave me the money. Girl was living nice. Okay? Worked for FAMU Law. I love you guys. Y'all taught me so much about just like the legalities of Florida, politics, the people there, just being surrounded by black excellence, black success. Like these people did shit. These people wrote things. These people changed laws. These people saved lives. These people just was doing their thing, okay? And these were my coworkers. I'm soaking it in because Latanya was never getting into FAMU. And if I was going to go to FAMU, Latanya wants the full experience at Tallahassee, and I can't do that with the kids. So Latanya just took the experience of working there, and it just leveled me up in a way to where it taught me structure. To where now I needed leeway because I felt like they was overworking a bitch. I said, hold on, I can't. God is calling me to do this, and I can't do this and get to the money right now. So I need something that's going to give me the flexibility because I'm also a mother. So God gave me the flexibility at Valencia. Okay. Ta-da. So boom, working there. I always wanted to work there because when I first came to Florida, what actually kind of, well, God ordained and aligned in a sense, what actually gave me the stability I needed to like put my roots here was Valencia College. If I never would have signed up for that fall term, Latanya would have never been here. 7 years would have not existed. And it did. And that's why I hold them to such a high regard. But I was a student first. And that studency gave me everything I needed, got me together, got me all my business needs. When I'm talking about that nice little MacBook that I had, that my kids had crushed 3 times. Every time I needed a new MacBook, guess who blessed me with that? FAFSA. God. I mean, look, it was a process. God first, he ordained FAFSA to put that approval to Valencia, and Valencia cashed them funds every time. And they had a nice bookstore selection that my funds could be applied to. And so Latanya's, all the things I needed to start a business came from that, from me being a student, right? So now I'm getting the opportunity to work there. I'm like, hell yeah. Do y'all know what y'all did for me? Do y'all know how, like, what? Yeah, sign me up. Signs up, realizes now I work for a nonprofit organization. It took me a little bit, but now I'm understanding that, right? Puts me in a nonprofit organization. I'm learning the roots. I'm learning the people. These people have been there. So now they're teaching me longevity. Now they're teaching me resilience in a new way because I've always been a resilient girly, but now there's like perseverance with the resiliency, right? And so they just shifted the girl and they gave me the opportunity to practice, perfect, fail with my nonprofit in a way. So now let's fast forward. Latanya now has a functioning regulatory nonprofit that is recognized in the state of Florida. She has a board, and you know who you are on the board. Thank you. So I get the people out. I get the souls out. I say, God, bring me these people that you know is going to help me align this mission, right? And He does, and they grew with me. I remember whenever I was scared to go out to get a board, but necessarily for you to have a nonprofit, you need to have a board to be fully functioning. And so I say, you know what, God, instead of me trying to find all these other parts, let me get the board. Because then they gonna also put that pressure on me that I need to succeed, right? And they did. So I picked the board, started out with 7, we're down to 5. Effective ass motherfuckers. I'm sorry, but they are. Down to 5 effective motherfuckers. And I decided, let's go ahead and take this shit on the road. Let's go ahead and start sowing our roots, doing our thing. And amongst that, right, one of the points or one of the things we needed to do, and one of the things you have to do as a nonprofit is establish community partnerships and collaborations. And so my girl Elizabeth laid out the motherfucking foundation because I'm giving everybody the credit that they deserve in everything that they do. Laid out the foundation and said, listen, if we do this, I feel like we could get all of our goals that we want intentionally connected, right? And in the physical, because I'm one of those people, I love a good dream, but I'm a dream to reality ass girl. Like I need to know once we picture it, I'm in action. I'm in action. And so I was like, well, okay, so what do we need to do? They gave me the motherfucking blueprint. I said, got you. Took that shit and ran with it, which brings me to right now. Or this week. So I had my birthday. My birthday month was August. August 20th was my birthday. And the week before my birthday, I ended up in the dang hospital from unknown health condition, which was dehydration, which really spiritual warfare. Let's call it what it was. I was going through spiritual warfare, and it was because a few weeks prior, I had sown a seed that I didn't realize was going to be so fruitful. and actually was aligned with what God wanted me to have, right? A lot of times I be sowing seeds and he bless them just because he know me. You know me. He be like, all right, throw a little. But like this time he said, baby, what I'm about to do, I need you to prepare. And I took the warrior approach. I think I'm Mulan. I think I'm the black Mulan. So that means when there's a spiritual war, I want to act, I want to talk to them like Peter. Okay, I want to talk to these motherfuckers like Peter, which is I want to talk to the monitoring spirits. I want to check motherfuckers that are wrong. I want to check. I just want to go into this like mama mode. Get in line, motherfuckers, because we got purpose, right? And it just seems like no matter what, which is this is why I'm saying prior seasons were so necessary for now. Now I don't get phased when I see chaos because that means a blessing's on the end of it. There's certain people that pop up in my life when they pop up, I know the blessing literally is coming 24 to 48 hours prior to them leaving my life. I'm sorry, I don't know how much they recorded, but I know that when these people pop up, the blessing is knocking on my door. So I need to act accordingly. And these people try me in a way that they want that reaction. They want that energy because once you give it, babe, now you don't have energy for nothing else, right? I locked in. And also God allowed me to lock into because there's certain things that happen. Like my phone screen literally was functional but would not work. Then day late, I wake up after I finally decide to rest because I was fighting God. I was like, God, I want to do this. I want to do this. He said, sit your ass down. Do you know what I'm about to make you do on Wednesday, the 27th of August? Sit the fuck down and take a nap. And I said, all right, surrendered. When I surrendered, I woke up to a broken phone. So that means there was no extra door dashing. There was no Shift Smart. There was no social media. There was no posting content, talking to motherfuckers about what I'm about to do, hearing other people's mother problems. None of that. Like he literally put me in silent. Like I literally felt like Christ in the wilderness, except I had all that I need. So I need to shut up. I heard you. We got you. So boom. All I could think of is Tanya has to move, which that's what I did, right? Tanya has to move. My car is now acting up. Whether that's retrograde, whether that was God, whether that was the enemy, I don't give a fuck. I just noticed that there was some opposition. Okay? There was opposition in my life. My car that has nothing wrong with it starts to mess up. I said, I don't pay the fucking bill. Because see, Satan used to attack me with them repos, and now he can't attack me because I pay that bill. So guess how he's gonna do it? He's gonna put that tire pressure at zero when you gotta get to work. And you already running late because them damn kids was fighting you. Yeah. And now uniforms is lost. It's the first day of school. Do you think Latanya is worried about the purpose and the mission that she has in a week? No. Or 5 days? No. In 2 days? No. Because there's the distractions, right? So now that I notice that there are distractions, I'm sitting here like this, pissed. Because why? I'm not fighting them and you still get them to me. Why? Why? In that, God gave me a time to sit with myself and really ask myself questions because I didn't have a phone to go Twitter finger that shit out. I didn't have a phone to go call and correct a bitch.com. There was none of that because he made me sit with myself. Every time I wanted to meet up and link up, he canceled those plans, bro. And then what he would do is he would hold money up that normally posts extra time, like quickly. He gonna hold it up for a few more hours to wait, so I don't spend my money on that because he has a plan for the money. These are things that's happening. And when I told you guys, like, you're gonna go through a space where you feel like you can't even tell people what's going on, same. Here, been there for a few years now. Things happen in my life, and it's like if I explain this to somebody, I sound fucking insane. If I tell them God is keeping me from spending money at the party or going to the damn water park because he has a purpose for my life on Wednesday, and the only time he genuinely gives me what I desire is when I show up in my purpose, and I try to tell people that, they tell me, Tanya, maybe you need to give church a break. But then when Latanya sees it actually pour out, meaning first I was told that the money wasn't going to work because I changed my payout or whatever the fuck, right? Then after I finally surrendered to whatever my plan was, wasn't happening, the money pops up. That same certain scenarios like that. So boom. This week we at Intentionally Connected Community was successful. Okay, we were successful at our first official community partnership collaboration event at Vicentios, which is the resource hub at Valencia College. Mind you, this is something a seed was sown a few months. I want to say we saw. Yeah, I talked about it in March. I had the idea in March. Kind of got the confirmation in July. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with God. Got confirmation in July, but I was being swayed by what I was seeing in my reality, and then how things kept transpiring at my job. I was just like, God, if you're getting me to up out of here, why do you got me with this partnership? Because those two can't coincide. Okay, but he was like, girl, put your motherfucking head down and stay the purpose. That's all I asked you to do. And I'm like, all right, word. Okay, put the hands up, word. So, boom, now it is Monday night. My phone screen's cracked. Can't access my bank. Can't see when my paycheck hits. Can't see anything, right? Can't call. Can't do anything. Have to go to like ATMs just to check. My car tire keeps deflating. Any chance it does it when it wants. Like it doesn't do it as like a you could check. You could be like, oh, it's a slow leak. It's just doing it when it wants at this point now, which means there's a slow leak. But I digress. Uh, so now there's a slow leak in my thing. My screen's cracked. I can't check my bank balances, so I don't know what I have. So I'm scared to spend because I don't like spending in chaos. I like to know. I like to go and know it's going to be green. It's going to do that little approved circle. I don't like going up there with the. God, no, I'm too prideful for that. But he made me live in my pride, and I had to do it. I had to go up to that cashier and hope that that $6 is on this card because I don't remember. I don't remember. Okay. So phone screen's cracked. So I can't contact or communicate with any of my volunteers with the actual other partnership that I had, which was Grow. Grow, I love you guys so much for coming out and giving us the volunteers and the love and the support that you guys did on such a fucking short notice. But this is what I mean by purpose driven. Despite all that shit going on, I still went to Run Club, and that's Grow. So I still went to Run Club with the inclination that Tanya still is walking in purpose regardless of what's going on because I know that Wednesday I have to show up because I told these people that we are showing up. They know that I'm going to be there. I know that I'm supposed to be there. So we just going to be there. Okay. So I'm like, I got to keep moving, take my kids. Next thing you know, Latanya has to public speak in front of maybe about 100 people, 100 runners that I don't, I mean, I run with them, but I don't even talk. I'm the community member that show up, do purpose, and leave. I'm not there to congregate. Got kids, so I get there, and one of the ladies try to contact me. Their community their community coordinator try to contact me. My phone's glitching in and out. I'm like, I finally let her know I'm just gonna be there. I get there. Now Latanya is speaking and telling everybody about not only the nonprofit, but asking for volunteers. I just told y'all I was prideful. Do y'all think it was fun for me to get up on the mic to, for one, ask for help, but then for two, share something that's near and dear to my heart? I had to do both of them. On short notice, I didn't even prepare myself. It was really, hey, Mary. Oh, right here. And my kids was so, and it was beautiful because my kids got to be there. So they were like, mommy? And I'm like, baby, mommy just walking in purpose right now. Don't ask me too many questions. This is what walking in purpose looked like. Okay, so we walk. I tell them everything. We do Run Club. Boom. Now it is Wednesday. Latanya is down to I don't know how much is in my bank account, but maybe $20 because it's like a night before paycheck, a night before the Christmas man arrives, drops that bag down that chimney. Mine's an electronical chimney that we refer to it as a direct deposit. So I'm waiting for that chimney to drop, that bag to drop in the chimney. I can't see if the bag's going to drop because the phone's still fucked up. I'm trying to regulate and check as much as I can from my computer that I'm just connected to random Wi-Fi networks around the city because I'm trying to communicate with people. I'm trying to do all the things, and like Satan, the enemy, opposition, whatever, the challenge, all thought that stopping my communication was going to stop me because at this point, money doesn't stop Latanya from doing nothing. Okay, the absence of or the abundance of have never stopped Latanya from dreaming or non-dreaming. Okay, or not doing something. Um, Communication though is big to me. I love, and that is my strong suit is communication. So restricting that, you finna piss me off. But I ain't too mad because I know it's coming. When I tell y'all, Latanya barely had. I'm hoping that my paycheck hits before the event. Now that they're telling Tanya we got to set up at 10. Tanya had, I think, $56 in EBT, $3.75 in Walmart cash, and $20 on my PayPal. 8 of those $20 had to go in my gas tank because we cannot ride around on E. So now we have $8. Latanya, intentionally connected community, grow community, Essentials community was able to provide at least 100 students with food, school supplies, and I'm not talking about here little like I'm talking about we had binders out here, we had hand sanitizer on the keychain. Latanya used her resources. Latanya locked the fuck in because I have always had to move without nothing. I've always had literally 5 loaves and 2 things of barley. Okay? And I'll be trying to feed a nation off that. And when I tell you Latanya ran through and gathered her resources, I was up in I have a little cabinet drawer of food and snacks at my desk. Cleaned it out. When I tell you Latanya went to all of her old co-workers that work, because we have done an organizational change now, I went to people and was like, yo, this is what I'm doing. This is who it's for. Let's help these babies. Okay? It don't gotta be nothing, no monetary. I did not get any monetary donations for this. I promise you guys. There was no monetary donations to support what we did at Essentials this past Wednesday. And I haven't even got to like talk to my people about it, like the community about it. But like for me to be able to do what we did with $59, 3.75 worth of Walmart cash, and Latanya's 888 because I ran to the back school supplies, got them notebooks, got them color theme, made them real cutesy, real demure. Gave them a little Valencia vibe, a little, dark red, a little golden. But being able to do that with only $8.88 in my $8 in my gas tank, and a goal, and a broken phone. When I tell you the volunteers still showed up on time, they found me. I was in the middle of moving in purpose. I'm counting binders. When I tell you Marilyn, my board chairman, showed the fuck up early while she had her own life going. She said, baby, here, you need the bags? Here you go. For Miss Yuli, I love you, Miss Yuli, from Essentials, to even just take the chance on me. You did not even know if I was like a large organization, small organization. You just knew I wanted to help, and you allowed the space for me to, and then you supported me through it. This lady was helping me with, let me do it like this. And she was telling the students, like, for her to even be an advocate of intentionally connected, because what we were there to do was just connect needs assessments. For one, so we can build our clients so that we can start helping and actually seeing the success in real life. And also start using these people as that, like, hey, let's bridge the gap to resources with these initial people first, and then we can expand the mission. It was just like beautiful to see. And everyone had a smile on their face, and Mari came with the energy, and she was forcing that supplies on them babies. And I'm so grateful for that. And I don't know, just like when I left that day, so boom, event's done. We closed up, we clean house. I go back to work because Latanya still got to go back to her real life, right? Like I am still the boss ass bitch that I know I am, but I gotta go report to my boss. So Latanya took her boss ass bitch ass into that office, and I said, it's lunchtime. I need rest. I need to sit in it. I need to sit in it. And I did. And so, like I told y'all, I had no access to my phone or anything all prior to that event, right? I told you I had no money all the way up until that day of that damn event, right? Tell me why, as soon as everything was done, and I was mad because I planned to go back to buy more food, to go buy more supplies for the students, right? Not realizing God has mission and purpose. Like He has a mission. We got some things rolling in the future. Y'all gonna be a part of that. I'm gonna vlog the next time we do our thing, right? But when I was in it, I was just kind of like, what the fuck? So something told me, like I told you, I can't check my phone to see how much money's in my account. I pull up to this cute little portable ATM, Bank of America, payday. Took that car right around to that Walmart parking lot, dropped my phone off. They gave me luxury queen experience. Have you ever went to go get your phone fixed? Normally they make you get the fuck up out their office, right? I get my phone fixed so many times, so this is why I can speak from this experience. I went in there and then people pulled out the chair and it was nice and air conditioned and they talked to me and they brought me little cases. Do you like this one? Oh, did you know this is wrong with your phone? We can fix that. I'll do this for free. Don't worry about it. Just giving me the luxury experience, right? And I'm just like, wow. After I got to serve somebody else, someone is serving me without even knowing. Not even knowing. Fix the phone, check my like just I check my phone. Now I'm seeing all the alerts that's happened over the past few days, the are you okays and shit like oh. I'm seeing all the things pop up, right? And I was like, what dawned on my mind, which is what I spoke about earlier, is these people don't even know, despite the people that was volunteering and helping, right? And Mary, everybody that was included, the people that were texting me didn't even have a clue of what was going on in my life, what was transpiring, the blessing that it was not. I know that we got to bless other people, but I felt blessed. Like I felt blessed and highly favored because to be in a space to do that, even with nothing, I know that when he gives me everything, and y'all are my witness, the background and the scenery gonna change up in that bed. Stop. It is. But I'm gonna say, like, if I'm doing this with nothing, think about what he's gonna do when I have everything. Think about what I can do when I have everything. And that just it keeps me moving. It keeps me moving. So yeah, I'm gonna get off this video because Latonya has to continue to move in purpose so that the purpose don't stop. And there ain't no more struggle in the purpose. Lips is dry. So this message, if it, I hope it touched somebody, or it made somebody be like, "Yeah, bitch, I could do it too." Because I thought about it, I can, and because I know I'm capable. You're capable. I didn't need $1,000 to do that, babe. I needed $59, $3 donation from Walmart's cash, right? The Walmart cash, and just the desire was enough. The desire was enough because when people seen that I had a desire for it, they wanted to help me. And it wasn't, I didn't have to cry and beg these motherfuckers that I used to cry and beg for, or hear the sorry ass, oh, I wish I could have been there. You know, these people were there in the mix with me. We was in the field together. I live for that. I'm sorry. I know I'm being nuts, but like I live for that. And yeah, that's just the end of the message. I am logging off. I'm going to go eat this fire ass food, nurse the flesh, give me a good nap, and I love you.